Welcome back. We've got Kola Onadipe who joins us now. He's a project management consultant to weigh in on that matter. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you.
Well, there was a lot of surprise. People were shocked at when they saw that container, about 661 rifles, automatic rifles seized by the customs, especially the manner in which that seizure happened. They had been cleared. It was on its way to its destination. And then FOU somehow intercepted and thought there may be something suspicious here from the response of the spokesperson yesterday. You've also followed and watched what's been going on. What do you think of this?
Well, first of all, when I saw it, I thank God that the Federal Operation Unit actually got the wind and they were able to track that container. But let us look at the way goods are imported into the country. By the time we decipher it, you will then know exactly where the loopholes are. That's the truth. Now, for every goods that comes into the country, there is a law that says that there must be pre-shipment inspection. Whether there is 100% local inspection at the port of destination, there must be pre-shipment inspection. But a lot of these things are being taken for granted. A lot of us are not behaving well. That's the truth. In terms of importers, what we like to do is to see that we cut corners, we try to cut custom duties, we try to cut all sorts. But in this particular instance, I like to see the end of it because the shipping company should not have taken that container without the SUNCAP certificate. Every importer and the manufacturer of that good must have informed the SUNCAP representative. They call them IAF. That's independent accredited firms. There are about 4 of them, and they have the mandate of Nigerian government to inspect any goods coming into Nigeria.
That's on the one hand.
On one hand.
So why is it then that if that is not done, or if that was not done in that case,
yes,
how did the ship or how did they get to the point wherein the goods arrived Nigeria, the goods were cleared? There must be some sort of connivance somewhere.
No doubt about it. I believe, I think I saw it somewhere that the 2 of the custom guys have disappeared. They are looking for them.
7 people have been apprehended.
Right. We need to get to the bottom of that. What I suspect, because there is this relaxed situation in the port that because of the congestion, a lot of containers will always, they use their best judgment sometimes. And because the scan that is supposed to be working, there is a scanner at the port where even if you don't open the container, you will see the content, and the content will match with the quantity in pictures and in all shapes, will match the quantity that is in the Form M, because you are supposed to declare Form M at the point before you even start discussing your production of your goods. So basically, somewhere along the line, there is connivance, and that is where I believe that, look, the shipper must also be punished in this particular instance, because if you don't have the PC, the product certificate from the Cotecna or Intertech or any one of them, if you don't have it, you are not supposed to carry that container.
You know, the thing that raises a lot of concern for many Nigerians is that if somehow they suspected that maybe this container, either you underdeclared something, let's just go after it, then they intercepted it. There wasn't any specific definitive intelligence that this container has those things. Because from what was said yesterday, it did appear as though they stumbled on it. And so some wonder, what if that was one of the decoys and say, okay, let that one go,
maybe there are many
let
of
the
them.
other 2 go, or something.
My own feeling even says that that container is not one. They should go beyond that. And I thank God that at least they've arrested the importer. So it can lead them to a lot of things. That is a good deal. But what I'm saying is that at the point of even loading, If the shipper refused to carry that container, then he will appoint that there will have been an alert that something is there, because a lot of people don't go through this pre-inspection, and that's why I said that the shipper must be penalized in this matter.
Why do you think that Nigeria is somewhat vulnerable to the importation of all sorts of goods?
All over the world is like that, but each country will always put its own law properly. I brought a copy of SUNCAP. You can Google it, it's there. It's well-placed law. It was established in 2004, and then it was repealed in 2015 and strengthened by this present National Assembly, 2015. And so we have a good law that if we are all sincere, I say sincere, every importer and also the security agents at various ports, if we are all sincere, then we should be able to bring in the right thing within the law.
What you're holding now, the SON laws,
Yes.
doesn't seem to have applied or worked in this situation as in so many other situations. What would you subscribe that be done now that this seems not to be working?
If the customs, because when the shipping document comes, right, the importer goes with that to the customs. They file it, although they've already have a copy. But now you appear through your agent. You now come forward and say, okay, you want to clear your goods. It is from there. If there is no SUNCAP certificate, that's the first alert. But what do you get? A lot of things get done there. If government insists that any goods that comes into the country has a SUNCAP certificate, at least you will have reduced the essence of anything inside the container. It's about quality. It's about all sorts. It's about the quantity. It's about the kind of thing that will match with the pro forma invoice that you've already established. So basically, once they see that there's nothing, there's a discrepancy there, then somewhere along the line, somebody will tip off, and that's it. But because a lot of containers come into the country every minute, and that's the reason why we also believe that scanner must be working 24/7. Why should the scanner break down?
Are you saying that it may be deliberate to have that scanner not working?
I will not sit there and say it's deliberate, but the point is that why is it not working? You can piece up the answers from all of this.
And then you even wonder, because I mean, he says that the customs spokesperson, they're trying to see how they could buy scanners, and many thought, I even did ask him, how is it that customs that generates a huge amount of money have not been able to get scanners? He says, look, it's not their doing. The authorities have got to ensure that those scanners are there. So it does appear that there are several things that need to be done, because I also did remember in 2010, these kind of consignment came into the country. Nobody has briefed us till date. What exactly happened? Who brought it in? Where was it going? But let's take a moment. We'll be back and get your response in just a moment. Don't go away. Welcome back. Well, you heard the Controller General of Customs there talking about the landmass, the space, not possible to man them inch by inch. What do you think we should be doing?
Is a big problem. And it is such that Nigeria has found himself, and we are not telling ourselves the home truth.
Which is?
We are not behaving well as a people.
Is that not why we have law enforcement agents?
That's the people.
Oh.
It's the same people. Don't forget, this government that we talk about is me and you. It's our people. If everybody does what he has to do by law, without compromise, without complacency,
but that's being utopian.
without arrogance.
Everybody cannot do what they're supposed to do. We know that that's given.
So, what it means is that those security officials must also, if we have at least 85% of them doing what they are supposed to do,
Okay,
then we'll get it right.
Let's get a question from Mark.
Well, yes, a lot of people will agree that scanners pose a big question, not just at the ports, but also at the airports as well. But then, you know, people are also asking of our level of cooperation with other countries. I mean, these goods came, they were manufactured in China, then came through Turkey. Are we saying that the authorities in Turkey as well were not aware, or did they choose to ignore what could have been in the containers?
No, I want to believe that once it leaves China, I think that's a transshipment route. Nobody inspects in Turkey. I believe that the damage will have been done right in China. That's the way I see it, from my own small knowledge, by the way. And like I said earlier, if the manufacturer, you see, the guy brought in doors. That doors are not banned. Everybody brings in door. So with that, he was able to put something inside. He must have loaded it somewhere, whether it is in the warehouse of the manufacturer or his own private warehouse. He must have loaded it somewhere. But the law says that before that container is sealed, you need, as a manufacturer or as an importer, to have contacted the independent accredited firm, which in this case either Suncap, either Intertech. There are about 4 of them stated there. So it is the right of those independent companies that will seal the container and issue you with a certificate. That certificate is included with the shipping documents that will be given to the customs. This is what I'm saying. So who inspected that container? At what point was it sealed? This is the issue.
How do we then look at the bigger picture of what do you call it now, for reforms in the in that sector, especially for the Nigerian ports? Do you feel, for instance, that our ports are inadequate?
No, we have good ports. All what we need to do is to manage our ports well and let the security also do their work well. That's all.
All right, Kola Onadipe is a project management consultant and an analyst. Thank you for talking to us today on the program.
Thank you.
Well, that's where we draw the curtains today as well. We thank you all for watching and for your comments. We will be back tomorrow. I'm Chamberlain Uso.
And thanks indeed for watching. I'm Gimba Umar.
Thank you. I'm Maukbe Ogun.